All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome. Today is Monday, April 14th, 2025. This is episode 855 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, I am your host with a bumped knee, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Augusta Delgado, Dennis Keefe, Marcus Kyler, Johnny Hogan, Marcus Kyler again, double dipping on the Marcus Kyler. Semphilis, my man Gary Sergiotis, Jenny Housley in Mod Chat. Guys, Rhonda Rummerfield in the Low Country. Kayla Kavanaugh, good morning. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders, right? Like, ultimately, what are we doing here? We're trying to help people be a little bit more secure, a little bit more safe. Good morning, Kimberly can fix it in Mod Chat. Also, it's not going to be in today's stories, I don't think, but just saw this morning that Fall River, Mass, K-12 school system hit with ransomware. Not official ransomware, but like, you know, you can read between the lines. So, you know, that's right around the corner from where I grew up. Shout out to them. Sucks.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Guys, even if you aren't a practitioner, if you're just looking to break into the industry, you got yourself in the right place. Believe that, because you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current on the industry? And I got to tell you. Oh, yeah, hold on one second. Thank you. Let me fix the chat. Code Brew, long timer. Hold on one second. Allow me, hold on, this is like real-time production. Here we go. And there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, baby. Thank you, Code Brew. See what I mean, guys? It takes a village. I swear to God. I went fishing this weekend. Got some sun. I took like a 3-hour nap on Sunday. Don't judge me. I'll tell you about that at Jawjacking if you want to hear. But let's get to work, guys. You're going to be asked in any job interview, whether it's your first cyber job or your 5th cyber job, how do you stay current? This right here is a banger of an answer. Plus, the networking in the community is amazing. Look at that. Poner Joe's pointing out that we've got the Simply Cyber Community CTF on April 24th, live from 5 to 7 p.m. So if you're looking to get into CTFs and network a bit, definitely do that. Also, don't be intimidated. Those CTFs are deliberately designed to be accessible, at least the early challenges, so everybody can have a good time with it. I want you to know I don't research or prep for any of these shows.
Ain't nobody got time.
I mean, as demonstrated just now, I barely get the show set up correctly, but I got a cup of coffee and a smile, and I'm ready to kill this Monday proper. So let's excuse me. Let's say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors before we get into the hotness of this day. We got one going. Augusta Delgado does say shout out to Team Solo. I will say, if you're a solo operator, a lone wolf, maybe you're a one-person IT shop, a one-person GRC shop, one-person cyber shop, GRC Mafia is coming in thick. Guys, we see you. Know that the Simply Cyber community is like basically a virtual coworker workforce. So just, you know, you don't have to be alone, okay? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's hear from the stream sponsors really quick. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you, A, how this show destroys your CPE requirements, and B, what we got going here for the special event of the day. Shout out to Mount Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, Uckahumpka. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Definitely. Yeah, you almost have word rap on that name. I love it, Mount Bethel. Welcome to the party. Any other first timers, say what's up in chat. Let's do the ads real quick so we can get back to the business here. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Do you want cutting-edge, high-quality cybersecurity education regardless of financial position? Check this out. I want to give some love and some praise to Antisyphon training powered by Black Hills Information Security. Antisyphon training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone regardless of financial position. They bring industry professionals with years and years of experience into the classroom to teach you and anyone else who's interested practical skills that are in demand in the market today. And on top of that, the student experience is amazing as you and hundreds or thousands in some instances of other students are actively engaging, networking, sharing tips, tricks, and experiences with each other all live in the classroom. Go to antisyphontraining.com, check out their course calendar to see what courses they have coming up next. You won't regret it. All right, I also want to say shout out, where is it? Shout out to Delete Me. Look at this obfuscated face. Delete Me. Yo, Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Good morning, Rhonda Rummerfield. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, okay, Mount Bethel, of course. Thanks for the love. We are an inclusive community. Get some. Listen, data brokers make profit off our data. Your data is a commodity. Surprise. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. Dark web, clear web. It's gross. This data can actually lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, even like unsolicited marketing. How many people have been getting text messages about friggin', I got a job for you, right? I get those like at least one a day. But now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. I'm a father and a husband, and I care very much about my wife and children's safety. They didn't sign up for all this. So, you know, I want to protect them as best I can. And part of that defense in depth is managing online privacy. So, you know, basically, that's the value prop. Take control of your data, keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. You can get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber. Now, I do want to deliver some extra value. Hey, Dream Logic, thanks. I'll let her know. Where's my mouse, y'all? Listen, I also want everybody to know this is a pretty special one-off thing. Yes, Barricade's got Fortify 365, but Eric Taylor and the team at Barricade are bringing the heat as far as value to this community goes. If you would like a, you know, expert-led webinar on how to do forensics on the Windows recycling bin. Everybody's got the Windows recycling bin. A lot of, you know, people who don't know any better just move it to the site recycling bin, hit empty recycling bin, and think that they've covered their tracks. But guess what? Spoiler alert, the way that the file management systems work in Windows operating system, all they do is delink the pointer to the file. The file, the data, it's all still there. So how do you get it? How do you data mine it? And how do you basically do this type of forensics work? Eric Taylor's going to show you, and you guys know Eric Taylor's style. So he's not going to do a lot of foo-foo and talking around. He's going to get right to business. I'm going to drop a link to this. I actually am going to try to make this myself, add a little skill to my toolbox. Windows recycling bin. Forensics. Okay, here we go. Forensics. Just, you know, some more value for everybody. That's kind of what's going on. Dude, April 17th, that's Wednesday, or Thursday, excuse me. Thursday at 11 a.m. Tomorrow, Tuesday, at 1 p.m. Oh, wait, hold on. Tuesday at 1 p.m. Where is it? Right here. I'm literally running a 1-hour webinar free to everybody. You don't even have to register for it. And I'm going to show you how you can do audits with CISA 18. I've done like 1,000 audits. I'm exaggerating. I've probably done like, I don't know, 40 audits maybe. So it's like, we're going to have a good time. This week's a lot of learning, a lot of good times. As always, you can go to the Simply Cyber Discord server. We have the whole activities listed here. We got Simply Defensive today, Simply ICS Cyber. Guys, if today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer like Mount Bethel did. All about good times. Each episode's worth half a CPE, so say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away, and when you need to do your CPEs, count the screenshots, divide by 2. That's what's up. Kind of all over the place today, guys. Thank you for granting me some grace. Good morning to Justin Gold and Casually Joseph, all up in this place. Oh, my God. Okay, let me get some coffee. Let's get to work, y'all. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. And don't forget, today is Monday, which means only one thing. We've got the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. And this person is going to get recognized and, on top of it, get a $100 Amazon gift card or get, about $100+ worth of Simply Cyber merch. Their choice, but they are definitely in chat. I actually saw them come in chat, so super pumped about that. So stay tuned to the mid-roll. Let's cook, baby.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, April 14th, 2025.
Whoa.
I'm Steve Prince.
Cyber Phantom, first timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Hey, squad members, please drop bombs on Bram Weitzman and Cyber Phantom. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Love some first timers, guys. Welcome to party. Seriously, we're here to cook. We're here to have good times. Where's my John McClane emote? Damn it. Where's my... It's so hard because my tray is so tight. Oh, there it is. Yes. Welcome, Cyber Phantom.
Major workforce cuts planned for CISA. The agency is working on plans to, quote, slash staffing and spending amidst increase.
Rice is good. First timer. Welcome to the party, pal. We will interrupt a story to welcome someone to the party because there'll be another story later, but there's only one first timer experience.
Scrutiny from the White House, which is still chafing of what it sees as CISA's role in suppressing conservative viewpoints, end quote. Half of its full-time staff, 1,300 people, face removal, along with 40% of its contractors, according to a source with direct knowledge of the developing plans, speaking to Recorded Future News. A timetable for the announcement of these cuts is not yet set.
All right.
Microsoft...
All right, so a couple things really quick. Hey, Martine Peluso over on LinkedIn, guys, really quick. So there was some confusion. This is more of a programming note. There was some confusion, and if you're a first-timer here, I know you're going to be like, what are we doing here? But just bear with me, okay? This is episode 855. There's a little bit of laundry, if you will. I got blown up in comments by a replay viewer over the weekend who basically didn't understand. I am not curating these stories. These stories are curated by CISO series, and we ride on top of that, and we have a symbiotic relationship with them. If they choose stories that are absolutely not good, I will reach out to them and tell them such. And we've had discussions about even spinning our own stories instead of that, and they've been very open to like collaborating with us and getting stories that we want. So when there's something like this that's like, I mean, at least this is somewhat cyber adjacent. I'm going to do the best I can with it, as I always do. We try not to talk politics on the show. Obviously, when there's things like this, I do have to somewhat, go out into the water up to my ankles so I can at least cover this. Okay, but I'm not going out up to my nipples and like wading in the waters of political strife. Okay, so that's what's up. All right, so what CISA has long been the cybersecurity infrastructure, and the oh my God, what is... Yeah, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, basically kind of like threat intelligence, SecOps for the United States. They are under the Department of Homeland Security. And, under the previous administration, their role under the direction of Jen Easterly was very forward, a lot with election security, a lot with critical infrastructure security, known exploited vulnerability catalog, all those type of things, right? And under the new administration, they are redefining and reallocating the focus for CISA and the larger Department of Homeland Security, okay? And you got to remember, Department of Homeland Security does way more than just CISA. It includes Border Patrol, Customs, stuff like that. Just being real, okay? Like here we go. And personally, I love it when I'm able to pull something out of here for you as a practitioner to be able to drive risk reduction for your business stakeholders. Here's the reality, okay? Imagine, if you will, that the Department of Homeland Security is the office of the CIO. Watch what I do here. And by the way, if you've been in industry for a while, if you are more of a senior level practitioner, you're absolutely going to feel this, okay? And drop your own comments in chat if you actually have some thoughts around this particular note I'm about to make. The office of the CIO in large organizations typically has 4 dimensions under it. Infrastructure, which is what everybody thinks of. Infrastructure, applications, data, and InfoSec. That's why the CISO oftentimes reports to the CIO in larger organizations. Just like the chief applications officer or director of applications, the CIO just directly owns infrastructure. And then data, right? Data science, data officer. Data is so valuable, it has its own thing. Those 4, functions point up into the CIO, and the CIO gets budget. So think of CISA as the Information Security Office, and like ICE and Border Patrol as applications and infrastructure or whatever. CIO is DHS, okay? Stay with me now. DHS is going to get allocated budget by Congress, just like the CFO is going to allocate budget for the CIO office, right? The CFO has the purse strings. So CIO gets, let's say, $4 million, right? And then it says, okay, every function gets $1 million. InfoSec, you get $1 million budget for 2026. Good luck. Applications, $1 million, etc. Right? So when things like this happen and a new CIO comes in, right? A new CIO comes in and they look at the budget and they're like, whoa. What are we doing giving $1 million to InfoSec? Like infrastructure, the infrastructure here is gross. Like we need to give infrastructure $1.5 million, okay? Well, guess what? You don't go back to the CFO and get an extra $500,000. No. You just have to mush the pie back together and cut it up in a different way. And that's why you start losing budget, even though you've been allocated budget, right? So this is an example, potentially, where CISA is cutting massive jobs, 1,300 jobs, and they're real people with real families that are going to be really impacted by this, and that part sucks. But from a lesson and learn opportunity, this is an example where those 1,300 jobs are going to unlock budget, and it's potential that that budget is going to be reallocated to other parts of DHS's mission. Politically speaking, like it, don't like it, agree, don't disagree, that's fine. That's not what we're doing here. What I'm doing here is pointing out objectively what this is likely going to do and why it's being done. It's not just firing people for the sake of firing people. It will unlock budget, okay? So anyways, if you've ever had your budget taken away or garnished, if you've ever been asked to do more with less, if you've ever been told, like, nope, I need you to cut, I've been told, like, straight up, like, I need you to cut 10%. Like, find it. And also, you're not allowed to, like, have any capability diminish. See ya. So, yeah, I've done that before. It sucks. You cut the meat off, then you start shaving bone.
Warns Windows users not to delete their new inetpub folder. This new empty folder, spelt INETPUB, was installed directly on users' C drives following the April 2025 Windows security update. The folder is part of the Microsoft Internet Information Services (IIS) web server platform. However, after this new update, Windows users have found this newly created C inetpub folder on their systems even if they do not use IIS. Although researchers at Bleeping Computer believe the folder may be part of the remediation of a vulnerability, specifically a Windows Process Activation Elevation of Privilege vulnerability, Microsoft says this folder should not be deleted regardless.
All right.
Data.
I mean, okay. This is one of those ones where, like, yes, it fixed the problem, but obviously not well communicated. So IIS is the I don't even know what the acronym stands for. Let us know in chat. But IIS is basically Microsoft's web server. Okay, it's Apache. You might know Apache, but IIS is what Windows uses, and it's had its history. Okay, and the inetpub is the directory which like the web server files typically rest under. So like. And again, it's been a minute, but like under inetpub, there would be a /www, and there is where you would have your index HTML or home. And basically, it kind of compartmentalizes the web server file structure on the machine. That way, if you have some type of directory traversal vulnerability, the threat actor can't really get up out of there. I mean, they can ultimately, but it's a way to do that. So apparently, there's some IIS vulnerability that some big brain decided this is how you solve the problem, is by creating a directory on Windows machines, even if they're not running IIS. To me, this would be very concerning, right? You're like a 10-person business running, like, you're helping small medical businesses with their revenue cycle and billing, and all of a sudden every person in your company has an inetpub directory. Alarm bells would be going off. Right? So the issue isn't that it's there. The communication, which, by the way, can we just take a minute and like reinforce how important communication is? The deal, you have to communicate, okay, to your end users when you're going to be making changes that they're going to observe or see or note. Even though 20% of them are not going to read the communications, you just gotta do what you gotta do. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else like kind of about this. I mean, if I was a threat actor, I'd start having my malware create inetpub directories just to try to hide in the noise. They say don't remove it. This is kind of weird. Don't remove it, but at the same time, it doesn't cause a problem if you do remove it. Most people, Carl, they're not going to notice. They're not going to notice. Looks like this is a Privesk vulnerability as well. So the threat actor would have to have access to your box already. Doesn't mean that it's not to be taken seriously. It just means that you'd have to chain it with something else. I'm going to take the CVE value, and I'm going to use Barricade Cyber's EPSS lookup tool just to see if this is something that I need to like stop the stream right now and go fix, or if I need to, just order next day delivery of brown pants from Amazon, or if I don't need to worry about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, from a GRC Mafia perspective, what's the real risk here? Like, do I crap myself right now? Do I have it 24 hours so I can order a pair of brown pants? Or do I just like hang out? Let's see. So this is a good example where the CVSS score is 7.8, right? Which is pretty high. It's not wicked high, but it's pretty high. And the EPSS score is 0.07%. So this score right here, the top score, is what we want to look at. This is the likelihood, statistically, based on several factors, of whether or not you are likely to experience an exploitation of this vulnerability in the next 30 days. With a level like this, we're good, baby. Just keep cooking.
Breach at testing lab affects 1.6 million people. A provider of medical testing services, Seattle-based Laboratories Services Cooperative, is now notifying 1.6 million individuals about personal information that was stolen in an October 2024 data breach. The data potentially includes PII along with medical treatment and care records and payment details, including bank accounts and payment cards. Some of the victims are employees and some are Planned Parenthood patients. U.S. to sign
All right, hold on. Hold on a second. There we go. 1.6 million people. Hey, to the 1.6 million people, what do you think the chances are? All of them already had identity theft protection. I'm going to go decent. All right, lab services. This is medical information. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see. The potentially compromised. Okay. Strong take. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this works out. Potentially. Sounds like it was absolutely compromised. So name, address, phone number, email, DOB, socials, driver's license, government ID, passport, demo, health insurance, plan name, insurance group ID. So basically, threat actors stole the identification from your wallet or your clutch, your driver's license, and your healthcare card. Now, what's interesting about this one is this group provides services to Planned Parenthood centers in 31 states. Now, normally we would be thinking of just straight crime, like fraud and identity theft. I could see this one, I guess, abortion, women's rights, Planned Parenthood, pro-life, pro-choice, like whatever, phrase you want to use to describe that particular topic. That's a very polarizing topic right now in the United States. And there's been some, legal changes in courts and stuff like that. So you could see potentially this information being weaponized in a way to blackmail or harass individuals one way or the other. If you are, normally we're talking about financially motivated crime.
Straight cash, homie.
Right, everybody's out for that sweet, sweet cheddar, right? Wanting to get paid. But there is another dimension of InfoSec that you should be aware of called hacktivism, right? Hacktivism, ideologically motivated threat actors who don't give a damn about money. They give a damn about like their mission or, whatever it's important to them. And pro-life, pro-choice, like, abortion. This is one of those topics that's very, very, people are very passionate about, to the point of like, threats and like kinetic attacks on facilities. So, definitely concerning there. What sucks is, the data's out, right? You can't not be revealed anymore if you did go to one of these facilities for service. So we'll see. There's nothing you can do about it now. I mean, even if you use a service that scrubs your data off the internet, you can't scrub your data from a healthcare database that they have your data in, which sucks, right? Like no one, just as a real quick aside, like none of these 1.6 million people signed up for this risk, right? Kind of sucks. Phil Stafford says, thanks for bringing up women's rights. There's a dimension that's often overlooked. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I mean, Phil, I am human. I do have my own beliefs and morals and opinions. And it's just, I try to keep the show apolitical. So.
Spyware pact. More developments from the recent Pall Mall conference.
Not to be confused with the Winston pact or the Marlboro Accord.
State Department has announced that the U.S., quote, plans to sign an international agreement designed to govern the use of commercial spyware, end quote. This comes just about a week after 21 other countries signed this, quote, voluntary and non-binding code of practice outlining how they intend to jointly regulate commercial cyber intrusion capabilities and combat spyware companies, whose products have been increasingly used to target civil society, end quote. Although the Pall Mall conference took place just recently, this code of practice is the result of a year of diplomatic negotiations known as the Pall Mall process.
Do you remember? I mean, this is a super deep cut and also somewhat aligns to like the upbringing I had. But do you guys remember like in the mid 90s NASCAR racing? It was like the Winston Racing Series, and like the Marlboro car was like the most hottest. It was like the Ferrari in F1. Dude, smoking butts was like a thing back in the 80s and 90s. It's so wild. Okay, so the Pall Mall pact. 2 packs of Pall Mall, sweetie. I worked at a gas station for a number of years. We had a woman who came in all the time, always buying those Pall Malls. That's exactly what she said. 2 packs of Pall Mall, sweetie. She sounded like Linda Richmond from Talk Amongst Yourselves. Okay, guys, here's the deal. There's reality and then there's political posturing. This international Pall Mall pact is designed to curb the abuse by nation states and organized criminal syndicates from weaponizing spyware for essential law enforcement purposes. There has been rampant use of spyware to spy on political adversaries, investigative journalists, to curb and control information dissemination. It's been used to reveal individuals who are running, like in certain countries, certain lifestyles are considered illegal, which is like mind blowing. But yeah, like if you're, if you're a dude into dudes, there's certain countries in this world where that's like literally like super criminal. Right. So some of these spywares can be used to uncover those type of like sub factions. And, so this is supposed to control that by outlining a code of practice on how these companies are going to do it. Now, let me point out something really quickly. I will be curious to see how this particular legislation, for lack of a better term, or international norms works out, because this isn't countries saying how countries would work. When you think of like the United Nations and the way the United Nations work, these are countries that are coming together and saying these are norms that our countries will do. So if our country is invaded by somebody, all countries will come. Like these are country on country things. This are countries dictating how private sector for-profit businesses are going to behave, which is interesting, right? In 2025, you can stand up a cryptocurrency exchange out of the Bahamas. You don't need to operate out of the United States. We're not doing brick and mortars anymore. These companies are selling software. They could set up a shop on the moon. They could set up a shop in Atlantis. They could find their own island in the Pacific, right? Isn't there that one that's been in the news because of the tariffs lately that's just penguins? Set up shop there, right? Like, this is fine. And I hope that spyware gets under control. But I think that there's so many ways around this that it just feels like posturing, okay? As far as spyware goes, guys, just holler. There's a lot to spyware. The really, really good ones are super expensive. So you know that if you get hit with it, you're like a very rich target. Not rich in the sense of your annual revenue, but rich that like someone would spend that much on you. It reminds me of Chris Rock, the comedian's joke about curbing down crime by charging $50,000 for bullets. Let everyone have guns, but charge for the bullets. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't think that this is going to have a lot of teeth to it, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll defer to someone else who has a bit more information on this. If anyone in chat has reviewed this Pall Mall pact or is like involved with it in any way, please shout out. Would love to get some more insights into this. I think it's not going to really make the needle move.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Vanta. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like right now? We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But more than 9,000 companies have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across over 35 frameworks like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get started at vanta.com/headlines. That is VANTA.com/headlines.
All right, let's go. First timers, get some of this. All right, let me see you grill. All right, yo, hey, thanks everybody. We are at the mid-roll. We do this every day, so you first-timers, if you like what you're having so far, this is what we do, 855 days in a row. We add a little bit of variety to it every day, or sometimes I have technical issues, but that's the charm of the show. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Delete Me, Antisyphon, Threat Locker, making it so I can get up here every morning with a cup of coffee and straight shoot hot fire at you guys. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you all so much. The Pain tried to watch the Pall Mall meeting, but it was pretty hazy. Yes, yes. Again, you youngs, I mean, good on you, Gen Z. You'll never know, and for good reason. Like, restaurants used to have smoking sections, which was literally just next to the non-smoking section. It was so stupid. Like, among other things, you could smoke on airplanes. All right, guys. Hey, every single day of the week has a special segment. And Mondays is Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, right? We have so many members in the community. Alone, there's 480 people in chat right now. The Discord server has, how many people we got on Simply Cyber Discord server right now? 12,800, 1,300 are active on the server right now. We are a thriving kick-butt community. I love it, I love it, I love it. And on Mondays, I love to recognize one of the members. And the cool part is that Threat Locker sponsors this community member segment. So I get to give a cash prize or merch or whatever compliments of Threat Locker. So Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week is presented by Threat Locker. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity. It's basically application whitelisting. Guys, it takes a village to secure your business. It takes a village to grow Simply Cyber. I am so honored and privileged to be part of Simply Cyber. And today I would love to introduce you or remind you or shout out our community member of the week, Ms. Carrie Tyler. Guys, Ms. Carrie Tyler is a GRC pro, so hashtag GRC Mafia / cheese aficionado. She does play Magic the Gathering. We high-fived at Wild West Hackin' Fest. And if you want, you can see the Easter egg right here. This is a Black Hills Rekka Comics graphic. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, Carrie Tyler. You'll see her in chat. She's always throwing out supportive things, saying what's up. She's always just being really helpful, and she really demonstrates the core values of Simply Cyber. So, Carrie, thank you very much. As always, great to have you in the community. All right, let's get the laws going really quickly. Hold on, where's my mouse? Guys, I've been having mouse issues for real. My mouse is dead, bro. I swear to God, I think I have like errant wireless going. Because I'm like pissing through batteries. Like it's out of control. Like a battery shouldn't go in like 3 days. All right, let's get our laws on. I was going to jump ahead, but like it took me so long to fix the battery. All right, Alpha, Sierra's going to lead us off. All the drum majors, you know the words. First timers, you know the words. Mount Bethel, you know the words. Come on, let's go. God, so good. Let's finish strong, y'all. Coffee's good today.
Improved Tycoon 2FA phishing kit targets Microsoft 365.
Not to be confused with all those Tycoon games your kids are playing on Roblox.
This is a phishing-as-a-service platform, Tycoon 2FA, not Typhoon, which is already known for its ability to slip past multi-factor authentication on Microsoft 365 and Gmail accounts. Researchers at TrustWave now say that the threat actors behind this tool have added improvements, such as the use of invisible Unicode characters to hide binary data within JavaScript. This, quote, allows the payload to be decoded and executed as normal at runtime while evading manual, that is human, and static pattern matching analysis, end quote. Also on board, a switch from Cloudflare turnstiles to a self-hosted CAPTCHA rendered via HTML5 canvas with randomized elements, and the inclusion of anti-debugging JavaScript that detects browser automation and analysis tools.
What?
Oregon Department.
What? Hold on. This is insane. Okay, so we're going to spend a minute on this one because this one like makes my brain pop, okay? So really quickly, 2FA is not bulletproof. Dude, you will not meet somebody else who's more like, let's go MFA. You got to have MFA all over the place, but it's not bulletproof. There are ways to circumvent it. There's ways to get around it. This Tycoon 2FA is a platform, right? So it does phishing as a service. So basically anyone can do the phishing and it'll do 2FA bypass for you on very popular services, Microsoft 365 and Gmail, which is basically Google Workspace. So a lot of businesses are at risk. What this does is, let's see, whatever. They're adding several improvements. Of course, these threat actors are adding improvements. You know why?
Straight cash, homie.
They're making money. Again, guys, this is a tech startup. They're doing software as a service. They're wanting their customers, who happen to be criminals, to be happy and use their product and be successful. Anyone that's used any 2FA anyone who's used any SaaS product knows that they're constantly adding features. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, not just adding 10 gifted subs. Thank you, James McQuiggan. But also Mount Bethel said that Mount Bethel was here for the first time because James McQuiggan was sharing the love. Okay. Here's the thing. Invisible Unicode characters to hide binary data in JavaScript. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, wait a minute. I've heard of using Unicode for domain squatting, right? Typo domain squatting. I've heard of using invisible characters in email, like basically font size 0, or the font color is white. That way it doesn't render on the screen, so you can trick email security gateways to pass your email through to a victim, but the victim can't see it. All these things. But what I haven't seen before is using invisible Unicode characters, and I was actually going to dunk on this, but the fact that there's a screenshot is crazy to me. Look at this. If you're just listening on audio, we do offer this podcast in audio format only on Spotify and, well, actually we stopped Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We had to stop Spotify because they were sending me nasty grams about copywriting music. I don't know where they got that idea from, but look at this. I can't understand how the code is hidden, right? Like Unicode renders. This is source code. Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense how it's hidden, right? This is source code. And when you run JavaScript is an interpreted language, not a compiled language, which means like shell scripts, Python, etc. Those are interpreted languages. You don't compile the code into assembly or machine language before you run it, so you can see what the source looks like, which is why threat actors use obfuscation. Having it be invisible is very weird. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. So, I mean, the TLDR is one, say Google Chrome engine is going to look at this JavaScript code and probably not realize what the Unicode is doing because it's not going to decompile. It's not going to decode it and then check it. It's just going to check it. So that's a circumvent. Secondly, a human analyst looking at it's not going to see it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the threat actor doesn't call it invisible, obfuscated. If I had to guess, this is a snippet code of malicious code that's been analyzed by a malware researcher already who's gone in and named the function calls to make it easier for analysis. Like threat actors don't name, trust me, threat actors don't do you a service by naming their functions what they actually do. They're usually actually even more annoying, like just like the letter A or the letter T or something like that. Let's see. Yes, yeah, you can see here they have anti-debugging JavaScript that detects browser automation. So if they see Burp Suite running it or Phantom.js, which I've never heard of, it'll actually kind of kill itself basically, or go to a legitimate website like Rakuten.com. So yeah, you can see here on the top of this screenshot of code, if it's a WebDriver or call Phantom or the user agent says burp, then don't do it. Again, this is easy to circumvent, right? If you're using Burp Suite, just change the user agent from burp to like, Opera or Mozilla or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's super easy to get around that. But threat actors, this is how sophisticated malware works. It does checks. It does anti-analysis. Dude, malware researchers know, like, the tools we use are well known. Threat actors know it, so they look to see if those tools are being used before they detonate.
Of environmental quality suffers a cyber attack. This regulatory agency that regulates the quality of air, land, and water in the state says it has found no evidence of a data breach following a cyber attack that occurred last week. Lauren Wertis, a spokesperson for the department, said vehicle inspection stations were closed on Friday and that employee emails and servers are, quote, expected to be down through the end of the week as the agency continues to check its computer systems, end quote. The source of this attack has not yet been confirmed.
Really quick, Zemeth cracking me up in chat here. He says, like, the functions get credentials. Yeah, exactly. No threat actors naming that way. All right, so no data leaked. Oregon got hit. Somebody call Nick Barker and let him know. Or actually, Nick probably can't hear me over the elliptical right now, but he's probably burning like 1,000 calories in the last 15 minutes. True story. This is a little bit of an inside joke, deep cut, but Nick Barker, if you don't know, Nick Barker's been a longtime member of the Simply Cyber community. Great guy. Lives in California. For some reason, I was convinced he lived in Oregon. So for like a year, every time Oregon would come up, I'd be like, Nick Barker, Nick Barker. And when I met him in person, he's like, dude, I live in California. And I'm like, why haven't you said anything? He's like, you were kind of on a tear. Like, I figured I'd let you have it. Okay, so, Oregon Department of Environmental Quality gets hit and no data leaked. Cool story, bro. Yeah. Cool story. What are we doing here? Like, it looks like they had pretty decent, this is so weird. Like, no evidence of a data breach. Cyber attack happened this week. It could have been Carl detonating malware on his box. Could have been, ransomware, just like kind of a, encrypted the data, no data exfil. Oh, actually, maybe he does live in Oregon. He does live in Oregon, and I thought he lived in California. Oh, my God, Jerry.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
Gamma strikes military mission with infected USB drive.
The show's live, everybody.
The Russia-linked threat actor known as Gamma...
We're going to need Nick Barker to confirm what state he lives in.
That is G-A-M-A-R-E-D-O-N, also known as Shuckworm and Blue Alpha, is already known for its attacks and espionage activities against Ukraine. This latest attack focused on the military mission of an undisclosed country, which was also based in Ukraine. According to researchers at Symantec, the attackers used an infected removable drive to deliver an updated version of a known malware called Gamma Steel, G-A-M-M-A-S-T-E-E-L. Microsoft...
All right, so Shuckworm, here in the low country, it's not oyster season. If you ate an oyster right now, you'd have like level 5 food poisoning. I'm sure if I played DayZ right now, I would like immediately eat a raw oyster and die. Russian-based threat actors using USB drives for infecting people. Guys, don't sleep on... Yeah, Nick Barker, we've got confirmation that Nick Barker is in Oregon. Thank you all very much. Listen, the malicious USB drive is a total reasonable attack vector. The reason you don't see it as much is because you'd have to physically transmit it to somebody and then have them plug it in. But what I will say is there's a lot of attack vectors. Like very easily, you can disable auto run on USB devices, which is honestly a good practice, right? You can push a GPO to everybody, well, all your Windows users, and have USB not auto run on plugin. I don't know if Apple products do that. I'm sure there's something like that, but that's one way to do it. Wade Wells is in chat. I'm sure there's got to be some type of detection around, here's the deal. Once you plug a USB drive in, all of us are familiar with this, like it shows up as a drive, but what's happening is your operating system is mounting it as a drive on the disk, basically. And then if there's anything in there that's going to auto run, it auto runs and loads into memory and starts doing whatever it does. So it's the equivalent of double clicking on a binary and running it, right? So you can protect from it happening, and then you can detect if it does happen. Obviously, like I said, you don't see it a lot, but nation states, there are a lot of good use cases here. I'll give you a couple examples. Number one, Stuxnet, arguably one of the largest military-focused cyber attacks. You could argue NotPetya was pretty big, but Stuxnet was USB loaded, right? This is how you infect air-gapped network systems, right? Spoiler alert. Secondly, there was, what was it? I think it was the Jeep or Jeep Cherokees or whatever. We talked about it last week. Charlie Miller, did some research and hacked cars. We just saw the Nissan Leaf get hacked recently. One of the ways that they have you basically patch your car, you gotta patch it, is they'll send you a thumb drive and you plug it into your car. What an attack vector if a threat actor got in front of that and mailed a bunch of people thumb drives. Because you're expecting a thumb drive, you plug it into your car, and then you can infect your car with malware. Again, you have to have the right use case, like what's the actions on objectives. This isn't the 90s where you're just trying to have like friggin' Doom play on their infotainment, like you're trying to do something bigger. But yeah, dude, I would say malicious USB is totally within your arsenal, right? Like the Masters just happened yesterday. Shout out to Rory McIlroy. Great end, overtime finish. Dude, everybody's got payloads, malicious websites and stuff, but don't, just like having a driver and a putter in your bag, sometimes you need a sand wedge. Sometimes you need a special, iron, and the malicious USBs are one of those. Also, just because I'm doing it right now, if you're interested in making a malicious USB, again, this isn't Threat Actor Academy, but you can very easily, for just a couple bucks, knock this out. I'm literally... I might make a video on this simply because I did it. In fact, I can't even show you guys because I put it in my truck. Tomorrow, I'm actually taking the Citadel cadets and I'm giving them all a Raspberry Pi Pico. I think I paid like $8 for these things. And you can load rubber ducky scripts on it, which is a Hack5 has this programming language, and basically it simulates a keyboard. So when you plug it in, it starts detonating keystrokes. This is a malicious USB attack. Mine is just more pranks where you're going to plug it in. It's going to pop a notepad, say that you've been hacked by me, and then it's going to change your wallpaper. But yeah, so
Rubber duckies for the win.
So if you're looking for just a fun little project for a couple bucks, it's not a zero cost project, but it's one that you can use regularly. If you want to go to the next level, you could actually use it at work, depending on what your culture is at work. Someone leaves their laptop or their workstation locked to go to the bathroom, you can walk up and plug this thing in and change the wallpaper to say, don't leave your computer unlocked, for example, right? Little fun things. But malicious USBs, yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, don't buy, I mean, personally, I wouldn't buy the rubber duckies from Hack5. They're $80, and you can absolutely make them for way less. In fact, if you are a 3D printer person, there's a whole community of people that print cases for these Raspberry Pis. I don't, of course I can't show you. Let me see really quickly. Yeah, you can see, like, you can make all sorts of cases and stuff like that. So, don't sleep on it. It's a great option. It's a fun activity too. You can do it in like a weekend.
Recall continues to be a thing. Microsoft is quietly including the controversial screenshotting app into the Windows 11 release preview channel for Copilot Plus PCs, signaling its near readiness for general availability. Designed to operate as a screenshot record of everything a person does on a Windows computer, it was withdrawn temporarily last year over security concerns. On Thursday, Microsoft put Windows 11 build 26100.3902 into the release preview channel, which is the final stop before mainstream release, with recall included. The company says, however, that recall will be an opt-in feature that will roll out gradually.
All right. So, yeah. Speaking of recall, let's recall what the overall cybersecurity industry was responding to this particular feature, quote unquote feature. I want to say it was probably like last fall when they talked about doing this. This is basically like a screenshot, like system state shot, and a lot of it. Yeah, everyone hated it. Dude, this is like a threat actor, like, you know, this Microsoft recall is basically, okay, let me visually and audibly communicate to you quite quickly what this is for threat actors, okay? Here we go. Oh yeah. That's what recall is in a snippet, right? Like, this is going to be like you delete your passwords, you accidentally have something on your desktop. Don't worry, we'll be able to recover from that. So like, this is like, no one wanted this. No one's asking for this. I don't remember any type of like massive outrage where someone was like, we need to be able to immediately recall and have all these screenshots. Dude, it's like sensitive data just being like hoarded. Okay? This is like building a base in DayZ and having all sorts of crates and just filling it with screenshots of sensitive information. Now, of course, there's going to be tons of crap, right? Like, oh, like it's, you know, here's a screenshot of Notepad where I'm like writing down what I need to pick up at Costco today, including batteries, because I've been ripping through them. But yeah, anyways, I'll tell you what, I said this before, Microsoft spent a lot of money on recall, okay? They spent a lot of money on recall. You know that they want to get it in there, and clearly there's somebody with deep pockets who's trying to push it in there. So they're gonna roll it out just quietly, I guess. The problem is they made a big announcement about it, which is why everybody flipped out. And now it looks like they're just trying to quietly release it. I definitely think there's going to be, opportunities for GPOs to disable recall. Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Security researchers like Alex Hegena sidestepped the software's data protections with a proof of concept tool called Total Recall, which would extract and display data from Recall SQLite database. So it's not even out in major releases yet, and someone's already released a tool that basically extracts all that data and makes it easy to display. This should come as no surprise, y'all. Like, this is not super exciting for practitioners. I will say, if you're a red teamer, you're probably like salivating at this opportunity. All right, let's keep going. Also, here, I'm going to drop a link to this because it is a Python library. It does have ASCII art, which is always an indicator of a cool product. I will say this, okay? Two things. One, if a threat actor has this like specific anime character for its avatar picture, it's usually a legit threat actor. And if a Python-based or a shell-based or an interpreted command line security tool has ASCII art in it, it's usually legit, okay? It's not always the case, but it usually is the case. There we go. There's the link, y'all. All right, let's go. I think that's the last story, though. Let me do this. Yeah, I think that is the last story. You know what? It's 9 o'clock on the dot. Somebody call Nick Barker. Tell him every time I nail the bottom of the hour and the top of the hour, we call Nick Barker. All right. Hey, guys, I hope you had a great show. Don't go anywhere, you first-timers like Bethel. Guys, we do another show right now. It's a totally different show, but we just slide right into it. It's called Jawjacking. You've just had your daily cyber threat brief dose for Monday, April 14th, episode 855. And now we're going to do Jawjacking, which is an AMA Ask Me Anything or Ask Jerry Guy Anything. And listen, I've got tons of experience in the industry. I love helping people. If you bring your questions, I will answer them, or I know someone that can answer them if it's like in something that I'm not super well versed in. Either way, the idea is to get you the help you need, the questions you want, and do some little community. Plus, I'll show you a little bit of the phishing if you're interested. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. Don't go anywhere. We're going to jawjack your face off in a hot sec. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I'm Jerry Guy, your host for Jawjacking. We're coming hot, spicy hot off the heels of Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief with that nerd. Oh my God, absolute nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Jesus criminy, bro. For real, though, this is good times. It's all about fun, but also helping people. Just because it's work-related doesn't mean it has to be boring or suck. We're all about good times up in this piece, and we're all about helping people. I want to let everybody know that at the bottom of the hour, 9:30 a.m., we've got some fun stuff going on. It is Simply Defensive. They are back, baby. Wade Wells, Josh Mason in the lab cooking. Look at this. Where is it? Here it is. I mean, it's almost like Raekwon the chef cooking in the lab. Wade Wells, his astronaut detection engineering, Josh Mason, ready for takeoff. Guys, they're going to be talking to Edna Johnson, who went from developer to threat hunter. If you're looking to navigate the cybersecurity landscape, pivot around, don't miss this episode. We're going to rate it together. Drop your questions in chat, and I will answer them to the absolute best of my ability. Let's see. Mount Bethel says, just learning about MITRE framework. It's very intimidating. Yes, it is, Mount Bethel, but you know what? Just like everything else in our industry, don't get overwhelmed by it. Just take it one bite at a time. May I recommend starting with, and I'm sure James McQuiggan is helping you with this, but with MITRE ATT&CK, what I would recommend is two things, okay? No one asked me this question, but I'm going to just do it anyways. Here's what I would do in order to make MITRE ATT&CK less intimidating. Number one, go to CTI on the top, go to group. Computer. Show me groups. Survey. Okay, so check it out. First of all, Mount Bethel, I would go through and read about these groups. These are threat actors, okay? Learn about them, okay? Just learn. You're just learning about the players in the threat actor space.
You're learning about Flaming Donkey.
Okay? Just read those. Don't get overwhelmed by the big matrix yet, okay? Then, 2 things, okay? And this is prep work, Mount Bethel. Number 1 is the cyber kill chain, okay? Just get a little bit more comfortable with the cyber kill chain. This is for everybody who's trying to get into this, okay? Threat actors follow this chain, okay? So it's important to understand the different steps of an attack. Once you get that, the next thing is the pyramid of pain. David Bianco's pyramid of pain. Okay? This is a really well-known asset in our industry. This is basically how hard it is for a threat actor to change kind of like their attacks and their malware and stuff, okay? Hash values are file fingerprints, right? All the way up to TTPs, okay? So just now that you've got those 2 things and you've kind of worked through the threat actor group so you understand who you're talking about, go back to MITRE ATT&CK, right? And then you can go to the matrix, okay? And you can just go, oh, look, the far left one says recon. That seems familiar. Sure does, because it's the top left of the cyber kill chain. Oh, okay, so now you can see how these things map together. Initial access. Initial access. That's, I mean, it doesn't say it here, but that's basically like delivery of a malware or, you know, an attack sequence, okay? Like, you can start to see it go around. Defense evasion. They don't all do that, but Mount Bethel, if you guys remember the story that we read with this Tycoon 2FA phishing one, and they talked about using this hidden code in order to protect from being analyzed by threat actors, that would be defense evasion. So the whole reason I'm going into all this at length is because it seems intimidating because it doesn't feel like it's anchored to anything and it's just all over the place. Once you kind of see how the pieces fit together and you can see like the puzzle, it'll make a lot more sense. This isn't a one-to-one metaphor, but it does come to my mind. It's kind of like if you just dumped all the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle down on the table, you'd be like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. But if you do the border of the jigsaw puzzle, well, now you feel like you've got your arms around it. You're like, okay, it's this big. There's blue over here. There's red over here. I kind of see what's going on. It gives you a plan to be able to like digest the information. Okay, no one asked about that, but I wanted to do it. Dude, I am so mad at my mouse for like chunking around on my screen. Ugh. I gotta figure out like what's up with this radio frequency. I literally bought another mouse that's the same mouse except corded, but I didn't like how it was messing up my feng shui up here on the desktop. So, all right, I'm looking through chat right here. Dream Logic's out. All right, question from Marlon Johnson. Hey, Dr. G, do you know if you still have to do the exam for CISA even after you've earned the required CPEs for that term? Do you still have to do, well, so I assume you're talking about the ISACA Certified Information Systems Auditor cert. I don't understand your question. Like, you have to take the exam to pass and earn the cert. You don't have to take it ever again. You just have to pay an annual fee and do the CPEs. So you do not have to retake the exam, if that's your question, Marlon Johnson. I will say that I did let my CISA and my CSM expire, which is a pretty common thing for senior practitioners to let their certs expire. 90s nostalgia, the Raekwon reference. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what's awesome? 90s nostalgia. I was listening to, Aquemini on, over the weekend. I was working on a project this weekend, and I forgot that, Raekwon did a collab with Outkast. Whoops, hold on one second. Yeah, you guys remember this one? This one's probably going to destroy my. This one might ban the show in multiple countries, but this one. Dude, Raekwon has such hot bars in this one. Oh my god, if you don't know this song, it is Skew It on the Barbie featuring Raekwon from Outkast. All right. That's why I don't play a lot of Outkast. There's a lot of, I mean, you know, Andre can say whatever he wants. But anyways, yes, Raekwon the chef, cooking up beats. I love it. Let's keep going. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Windows XP RPC reboot loop was all it took for me to go to Linux. Phil Stafford's had enough. If you got any questions, drop them in chat. Good to see everybody. Let's see. Jawjacking time. Yes, sir. All right. I'm scrolling down to the bottom of chat. Oh, let me get some music going. Got to have that ambiance, dude. I'm huge on lighting and I'm huge on ambiance. So those are my vices. Alfredo Tagolo says, how do we get hold on. I see the comments in chat. Hold on. I'm going to start flagging these because I don't have anyone behind the glass right now. So just give me a second. I'm going to flag a bunch of these and then I'm going to answer all of them. There we go. Okay, so I've got enough questions here lined up. So check it out. If you want any Simply Cyber merch, I don't pump the merch like some creators do, and that's okay. I mean, it's just not what I do. But if you go to simplycyber.io/merch, holy crap, it's 20% off everything right now. I didn't even know that. Simplycyber.io/merch if you want to scoop up any of this gear. In fact, I actually have this shirt right here. I didn't even tell anyone about it. I made the mixtape. If you guys don't know, when you find me in person, I have these stickers. These are I think these are awesome stickers. It's a mixtape, and there is hey, 90s nostalgia. You'll love this. This QR code right here, this QR code actually goes to a mixtape that I made that's all 90s hip hop, and I listen to it regularly. Anyways, simplycyber.io/merch, and you can scoop up. This isn't the sweater I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing, where is it? The Adidas one. This is the one I'm wearing right here. Simply Cyber Media Group, Adidas Unisex Fleece. You guys aren't even looking at this. This is it right here. Great sweater. I've got, my whole family has them, frankly. They're really comfortable. I wear them all the time. All right, let's get some questions going for everybody. So, Jay Fox says, how do you list the expired certs on your resume? I literally put, if I had, so I don't, okay, so my resume does not have it this way, but I haven't updated my resume since my certs expired. I don't have to, this is so, I don't use resumes anymore, but what you should do is have, under certifications, have certified information systems auditor, and then put expired. Certified, and you can even put earned, 1109, and then next to it expired. Anybody, listen, any application tracking system is going to see that the cert is there and push it on to the next one. Any hiring manager that works in industry that sees that you have that and is expired knows that you expired it because you didn't want to pay the friggin' annual fee, which they can totally vibe with. I'm telling you, nobody looks at certain as expired and is like, oh, yesterday when they had that cert, they understood how to audit an information system, but today that cert is expired. You don't know anything about auditing. So everybody knows that. Okay. Next one is tips for getting CPEs. Well, one best practice, you can go to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief every single day at simplycyber.io/streams to get a half a CPE every day. That's one easy way, DSP. Another super easy way is Antisyphon training. They offer lots of pay what you can training, so you can do it for $0. And you can, it's usually 4 hours per day. So you can go to Antisyphon and you can get 16 CPEs. DSP, if you go to a conference, your time at the conference are CPEs. If you are in school, dude, if you're in school and you're taking a cybersecurity class, that's like, that's like 40 or 50 CPEs for a year. So that's definitely the way to get all those CPEs. Carrie says, Jerry, where did you put the new GRC video training? Is it on your academy? No, I'm in the middle of working it. So here's a little spoiler. So earlier last week, someone asked me where do I learn what GRC is and how to introduction stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't have a good answer. Okay. I have my course, my GRC analyst masterclass, but that's not free. And it might be like killing a mosquito with a cannon if you're just trying to figure out if you want to work in GRC. So I was so bothered by it that I didn't have a good answer. Okay. And I think I'm on the spectrum, like a little neurotic here where it just it was like eating away at me. So what I did was this weekend, I actually developed a mini course. It's 6 lectures. It is probably 2 hours. It's really nicely done. I'm almost finished with it. I'm going to have a couple beta testers go through it just to make sure it's tight. And then I'm going to release it. And it's either going to be free or it's going to be pay what you can. I haven't figured it out, but it's going to be accessible to everybody. It's going to come with a certificate of completion. And I probably won't call the class this, but what it really should be called is WTF is GRC and do I want this job? So the course answers the two questions. What the F is GRC and do I want this job? That's all that course answers. And I think it does it brilliantly. Okay. I'm excited about it. It will be coming pretty soon. In fact, let me do. Oh my God, this mouse! I hate this mouse. I do want to kind of do one quick thing. And Carrie, I didn't know. I didn't know that you knew about that. I wasn't sure if I made that public or not. So if you're to that reason, if you're talking about something else, Carrie, let me know and I'll answer the question as best I can. But I'm going to tease this to everybody. Courses. Dude, this mouse. All right, GRC. All right, so trust me, the wait is going to be worth it, okay? Oh, bro, you're killing me with this mouse. All right, so check it out. This is it right here. GRC Foundations for Modern Cyber. And then, dude, I'm telling you, I think this thing looks so sick. Okay? Oh, the curriculum's empty. Hold on one second. I haven't published any of the videos. So let me actually, publish this one. Right? So this is what it'll look like. And then, they're all going to look like this. Right? Oh, dude, look at burnt in closed captions, cool look and vibe. I'm super excited about this, guys. My battery was pegged out. My energy was high when I was doing this. I was so excited. So anyways, look for that. Just look for this probably this week. Right? I'm not holding back on this thing. We're not doing a big marketing push. I want to get this out to everybody ASAP. Angular says, today I have my coworker who I share an office with. That what he did really hurt me and we are not good. Things will get weird until new fiscal year when we get our separate ways. Advice. Ooh. I mean, honestly, I know it's icky, but like open communication is usually, for me, the right move. You know, if it's that bad, if there's a way to, you know, get a different workspace, maybe you can do hot bunking with someone else. Talk to your manager and say that it's, you know, it's a problem. You know, but I mean, honestly, Angular, I really feel like it's, you know, if the person is like toxic and you just can't have a conversation with them and be like, listen, until further notice, this is my space here and this is yours, and I'm not interested in talking with you or sharing anything with you. Like, you know, make it crystal clear. Yeah. I mean, if you have to, you know, open it up with HR. I mean, it depends. There's a lot of dimensions to what's up. But I mean, I honestly think clear, transparent communication, setting expectations. And I mean, it could be scorched earth, Angular. You could be like, listen, once the new fiscal year comes up, we're going to have our separate spaces. And until then, we have to deal with this. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. And that doesn't mean I have to engage with you. So until further notice, you know, you're dead to me, basically, right? Hopefully that, I wouldn't say you're dead to me, but yeah. And if anybody else has thoughts in chat on how Angular can help, let us know. Hey, Ms. Grimes. Khalil knows about the chef cooking it up. Oh, Kenyan Ezo says his company's paying for SANS courses. Any suggestions for a security SOC analyst? I mean, a senior SOC analyst. Wade, thoughts on senior SOC analyst training? SANS? Here, let me, I mean, I've never taken a SANS training, but let's take a look. Defense, blue team. Let me see. Let me take a look here. All right, I'm taking a look here at SANS. Honestly, I think it would be partially who the instructor was as well. Advanced threat detection and monitoring, SEC 511, could be pretty good. Automating security with Python could be good. Here, I mean, honestly, without going deeper, SEC 555, detection engineering. Dude, detection engineering to me is like the next step for SOC analysts, right? Or SOC engineers. Like when you want to go to the next level, detection engineering is definitely hot. So without knowing, without going deeper, Kenyan Ezo, this is what I would think, detection engineering. But seriously, Eric Capuano, Whitney Champion would be good people to ping about this. Wade Wells, good person to ping about this. Yeah, hey, the Pain. If the Pain's asking me about Huey Lewis and the news, in American Psycho, oh yeah. Really quickly. Really quickly. This is how I feel on the inside when I see the Pain mention Huey Lewis in the news. This is woo! This is what I do when the la 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 la's are going off. All right, Kenyan Ezo, I hope that helped. Let me know. And dude, shout out to your company for giving out SANS money. Damn. All right. So Priceless Pancake does want the black shirt with the I Heart NIST white lettering. Let me take that for action. All right, I wrote it down, Priceless Pancake. Oh my God, did I just freeze? Oh, All right, hey, it's 9:23. We're going to raid Simply Defensive podcast at 9:30. What can't Andre say? Is there anything he can say that Big Boy can't? Just kidding. Yeah. I'm too cool for playing Outcast. Oh yeah, dude, Outcast is the bomb. I love Outcast. Let's see. Stickers and hoodies. Me too, Viper. Oh, no, the fishing trip recap did not happen. I will share really quickly. So those who don't know, I went fishing this weekend, chartered a cruise. If you're in the low country and you're looking for an awesome private charter, I got one. This guy was awesome. He can take 6 people out on his boat. He's been fishing his entire life, grew up on Lake Lure. Really cool dude, knew all the spots. My kids, my family, we all had a great time. I did something that was incredibly rare. We got up, went fishing. I came home immediately, like we ate lunch afterwards at a restaurant nearby. Came home, immediately laid on the couch and took like a 3-hour nap. Just like Mrs. took a nap. Like it was good. And then I got up and did some chores, played some DayZ, cried softly to myself. And then did some more of this GRC course. So let me share a couple quick pictures with you. Hold on one second. Here. I want to like block my kids' faces out from any pictures. So I won't show you that. But yeah, here we go. Look at this. This is live. I literally cast and caught this redfish. Felt good. There we go. Look at this guy. All gray. Look at this fish. This fish is like, bro, throw me back in. Throw me back in. And I'm like, I got you. I got you. All right. So Code Brew, it was a, for a regular fisherman, probably not super exciting, but for me, it was glorious. Thank you for asking. All right. What is William Ayers with a question. Hi, Jerry. If you linked a company homepage to a SharePoint Power page, then would that potentially create a link for bad actors to access the company SharePoint page? I don't know what SharePoint Power page is, but typically anytime you try to access an internal resource without, a session token or permissions, you'll be redirected to, authenticate. So I think you would be okay in that case. Again, I'm not wicked familiar with SharePoint Power page, but I mean, that's a pretty common use case scenario you're outlining. So I don't think it would be a problem. Kathy Chambers loves herself some hoodies. Have to get Kathy Chambers one of these. Stat. All right, looking at questions here. When's the next time you're going to be in Peoria, Illinois? Soulshine asks. Usually I go out there in May. They haven't reached out to me yet. So I don't have Peoria on my 2025 schedule at this time, Soulshine. Martin Peluso says 7 years as a dispute specialist in fraud at a bank, exploring other avs. Lean into cyber. Yeah, so Martin Peluso working in fraud. Let's see. I mean, I guess my initial thoughts are like GRC and SOC analysts are probably the two spots. GRC because you understand how people commit fraud, so you can recommend controls and basically to deter or detect fraud. On the SOC analyst side, if you know how people are committing fraud, you can look for those type of attacks. This is the same reason why pen testers are good at detection engineering, because they know what the attacks look like. I would get into audit, Martin, because like audit is the entry point into GRC, and fraud is typically identified through just through audit. So, it's not exclusively through audit. If you wanted to get into forensics, which, kind of fraud does that. There definitely is a way to do that, although I would say that's more advanced than the other two options that I just gave you. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me quickly, I gotta pull up the, all right, Simply Defensive, beginning shortly. All right, so we are going to be going and rating this. Guys, I got some questions answered. I'm quickly looking at chat really quickly. I want a wireless mouse, says only people who haven't owned a wireless mouse. Exactly, it's like owning a boat. Yep, so Carrie can definitely get in on the GRC course. I think you'll enjoy it, Carrie. I hope your UX design work is going well. Stager says looking for the sign up. Yeah, Stager, if you want that GRC foundations class, just wait. I'll probably do it like today or tomorrow. It's on my card today. All right, we're gonna be rating it really quickly. I have a question trying to get extra credit with the IRS, but I ended up getting attacked and things got bad. Who would I contact in the public rep? I don't have clearance, I don't think. Oof. I don't know, Dark. That's a tough one, honestly. There's a lot of nuance to what you're saying, so I'm not 100% sure. I would think that the IRS would have some type of place for victims to contact. All right, guys, we're going to go. If I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. Please come back tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and raid Simply Defensive. This is Wade Wells and Josh Mason's podcast. Boom. All right, guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I just pinned the URL. Go ahead and let's get a raid. Until next time, everybody, be well. Have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Until next time, stay secure.